What's up, jammers? Welcome back to another video. But before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to iHerb for sponsoring this video. iHerb offers the best value in the world for natural products. They carry anything from beauty, supplements, baby, pet products, and all things healthy home. You will find it here with over 50 plus brands that you can choose from. So let's go over what iHerb sent me. iHerb sent me over this Prescript Skin Glycolic Cream 5%, a brightening moisturizer cream, a coconut smoothing micro polish, the glycolic toner, a balancing charcoal cleansing oil, vitamin A complex, and lastly they sent me over their Revitalizing Youth Protect Serum. You guys, it smells so good, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it on my hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit, and the texture is very creamy, you guys. It doesn't feel thick. A lot of moisturizers feel really thick, which I'm not a big fan, or they feel too oily. This does not give me that feeling. And look at that glow, you guys. Follow the link in the description box and use code Anita5 for 5% off these products and even more.
What's up, jammers? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm riding solo right now, but you guys will be seeing Anita and Mila a little bit later on. I just got to Sprouts. Sprouts is typically one of my main options. I either go to Sprouts, Trader Joe's, or Smart and Final. Those are typically the ones that I try to get my produce from, but I typically always go to Sprouts because it's fairly close to where we live. So right now I'm going to take you guys on the meats that I get, percentage of fat of the meats that I get, and all the stuff that I typically get when I am meal prepping, so that you guys can, you know, replicate it or tweak it. And I'll explain to you guys later on why it is that I get those certain meals and why I eat a certain amount. So you guys stay tuned. I'm excited to take you guys along for this journey because a lot of you guys have asked me to do a meal prep vlog, so here it is. Thank you guys for requesting it. Thank you for all the love and support, and let's get inside. So I'm gonna be getting some blueberries for Mila because she loves blueberries. Oh look, they have the Ocean Fresh. These are her better. They're 3 for $5. Let's take these. So I rarely get protein bars, but whenever I do, I always get these because they're pretty much straightforward. They tell you exactly what's in it. Those are 3 egg whites, walnuts, cashews, dates, and there's a lot of all the other protein brands that they're quote-unquote healthy just because they're considered protein bars, but they have a lot of like sugar, a lot of artificial stuff that's technically not good for when you're meal prepping, even though it might feel like that sometimes. There's a lot of products out there that are actually like that you might think they're actually good for you, but in reality they're not. I'm not eating any peanut butter or anything like that, but typically when I do, because here's the thing, whenever you're meal prepping, it changes. There's sometimes that you are allowed to have certain things and sometimes where you're not allowed to have certain things. But typically when I am allowed to have peanut butter, I'll get one or this one. These are my favorites. Then also too, when I want to get some jelly, I'll get the sugar-free one. So just because you're eating healthier doesn't mean that you can't have certain things, but you just have to find the right ones. I think we're running low on oil, so I'm gonna get another one. Extra virgin olive oil. They're pretty much all the same, honestly. This one or the cod oil, you can get that one too. Actually, I'm probably gonna go with avocado oil. And this one. My go-to hot sauce for when I'm meal prepping is the Cholulas, just because they're probably the ones that are the least in sodium. So I'll take a Cholula. This is just for extra flavor. You can even go with like teriyaki ones or barbecue ones, but try to get the ones that are sugar-free. Those are the appropriate ones that you should be having. So every time I eat, I'm a huge fan of having crunch. So I don't eat these every single day, or I don't eat them with every single meal, but whenever I do crave something that's just crunchy, I'll typically go with these yellow corn because your body processes it a lot easier. Honestly, right now it's the fun part because a lot of the restrictions don't really apply, even though I still restrict myself from a lot of things. It's because it makes me feel mentally like I'm making the fastest progress possible so that I see results. But once you start dialing in for the last month or so, or a month and a half when you're gonna compete, it takes a toll. It gets way harder. And then sometimes too, like I've been drinking a lot of Bang, but I've been trying to like stay away from it just because it's not healthy for me. So what I'm gonna do, since the only thing that I crave is like the carbonated feeling, so what I typically try to get is like a Stevia or a what are the other ones called? So a lot of, like, I guess the hard part for a lot of people is to like let go of sodas because they crave that carbonated feeling. So typically what I try to get is Stevias, which are 0 calories, and they're a lot better, healthier option. Either those, the Perriers, or these. Oh, actually, you know what? It's the bubblies, but they don't have the bubblies here. But these are typically what, if you're into sodas and you're trying to let them go, but you want that carbonated feeling, these are typically the options that I would go for. So this time around, I'm going to take this 0 calorie. This is their version of Dr. Pepper. But the cool thing about these is that they're actually sweetened by stevia, so it's a lot healthier. But again, you kind of have to cut that out once you're gonna prep for the show, because any sweeteners aren't, you know, that good. So I'm gonna get some eggs. So here are some yogurts. I don't typically eat yogurts per se, but there are some options that are better than others, which I'll tell you guys in a little bit. Let me just find a milk for Mila. Gotta get some milk for Mila. So typically, whenever I am eating yogurt on my meal stuff, I don't get any of the low-fat yogurts. What I typically get is like a Chobani, like Greek yogurt that has no flavor. And what I do is I actually, with my berries or whatever it is that I'm eating it with, and that's what gives me that flavor. But I don't try to get yogurts with flavor. Even these are actually not as good as you might think they are. I think the reason why I'm having such a hard time explaining this is because my mind is always on contest meal prep, which restricts a lot of things, and for me it's what I feel like I function the best with. But obviously for you guys are not contest prepping, you guys just want to eat better. So I'm trying to explain to you guys a little bit more on maybe not the stuff that I normally get, but stuff that's better for you guys just to live a healthier lifestyle per se. So a lot of stuff that I show you guys I'm not taking, but I am explaining to you guys kind of how some options are actually better than others. And then for milk, since I know a lot of people drink milk, is I don't normally get like the regular one. I try to get this one right here. This is a great option for you guys, the unsweetened almond milk. You guys can actually use this with like berries and stuff like that. Okay, so the camera started dying, so I'm vlogging on my phone now. So a couple things that I added was these red potatoes. I typically bake them in the oven, and I love these. I'll show you how I weigh these out too as well. So I got 2 of these. I ended up getting some pepinos, which when I'm like feeling like a little snack or a treat, is typically my go-to. And then I got some Brussels sprouts. This is like my go-to for when I eat with like ground turkey and stuff like that. And I believe that's all I've gotten so far. So lately, I've been having a lot of ground turkey. I typically get the 99% fat-free. It gets a little bit pricey, but it's super healthy. You guys don't necessarily have to go that strict. You guys can go with like a 93. I think a 93 would be great for you guys. That'd be a good option. They have this option, and it's actually, I think it's a little bit cheaper when it's a 93. So I ended up getting, let's see, 5 ground turkeys, just because this is probably just 1 week's worth of food, or maybe like 3 or 4 days. It goes by real quick. And then I ended up getting some grass-fed top sirloin steak, 3 of them. So I'll just have 3 for the week, so every other day kind of, pretty much. And probably like a healthy option that a lot of people don't consider is some chicken. So the unseasoned one is pretty perfect because it's practically boiled, so it's pretty healthy. It's a good option if you want just like a little change of food, and obviously you're not trying to be as restricted in terms of meal prep. This is definitely a good option. So I'm actually going to take one for me. The Lifesavers, just because I love bread, and for a lot of us, we love bread, right? So what's a good option? Bagels. It's kind of bread, but it's gluten-free, so it processes a lot faster and it doesn't stay in your system as much. So this is actually better for your body to process it. So this is a great option if you're into bread. Highly recommend this. All right, guys. So I just got out of Sprouts, and I'm gonna share with you guys my bill, exactly what it is that I got. So my total bill was $128 with 21 cents, which is not bad at all. This is typically food that's gonna last me maybe like 2 or 3 days, eating 5 meals a day. So I know that might sound like a lot, like over time, but if you really think about it, like when you go out and eat every day, you're spending like $30, $40 every day, you know, so it kind of, you know, this is pretty much comes out to the same thing. And plus you're feeding yourself, you know, super healthy stuff. You know, you're pretty much avoiding going to the doctor for problems that might be caused by eating fast food and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you should restrict yourself from eating fast food, but you know, maybe you can cut it back, you know, to where you're eating it a lot less often. And I just generally feel that, you know, the healthier you eat, the better you feel inside. You feel like you can accomplish so many things. You just feel super energized. One other thing that I didn't buy but I already have at home is a water gallon. And the reason why that is because water is super important for your body. We're made out of water. So the more water that you have, the more that it flushes it out of your system, and the less water you retain. The less water you retain means that you feel a lot less bloated. So obviously you are going to be having to take a lot more trips to the bathroom, but honestly you feel really good. Your skin starts looking healthier, starts looking better. So for all the ladies, obviously I know you guys love your skin, so drinking a lot of water definitely helps. So right now we're gonna go home. I'm gonna meal prep my food. Anita's gonna help me. She always helps me out with like prepping my rice and all that stuff. So I'm super thankful that she helps me out with my meal prep, especially when I'm busy. When I'm busy during the week and I'm back to back, and she just helps me out a lot. But one thing that I do want to mention too is, like, I know Sprouts can get a little bit pricey. There's a lot of other options where you guys can go to. For me personally, I've guinea pigged myself to now knowing exactly what it is that I need. Like before, I used to be like, oh, this looks cool, I want to eat this, I want to try this, even with like different kinds of breads, different kinds of milks, different stuff, different kinds of just everything that I just kind of showed you guys. And I've invested so much time and money into finding things that I don't like. So now I just stick with the things that I know that I like and that I know are gonna get me to where I want to get. Because I think when you first start off, like one of the things that we typically try to do is like, oh, I want to have options, or I want to have, you know, chicken today in the morning. I want to have ground beef later on at day. I want to have, you know, maybe fish at night, maybe some steak and stuff like that. But what typically happens is that since you're cooking so much and your day can't, and you're basically, the way that your day is set up might not be the best suitable option to have that sort of flexibility. Obviously, yes, you can meal prep the days before, which is another great option. But if you like your food fresh and you're having difficulty jumping on a meal prep because you feel that it's dry food or whatever, a lot of the times when you prep it at the moment, it tastes better, but sometimes that might not be the best option for you. So I would definitely encourage for you to find something that's consistent. That's the way that I found works for me. You might think like, oh, he eats the same thing every single day, or that I might get tired of it. And yes, it's easier some days than others, but at the same time, I know that consistently I can attain my goals of eating throughout the day because I'm eating the same thing, and I don't have to worry about, oh, like, I gotta cook up this fish, or I gotta cook up this ground beef, or I gotta cook up this, you know, whatever the case may be. So those are some of the tips that I've learned throughout the years, on and off, you know, being on a meal plan, that make it easy for me to stay on a meal plan, because there's only one or two things that I have to worry about when it comes to cooking, and I can meal prep those days a couple of days in advance, so I don't have to worry about cooking every single day. So those are some good pro tips, piece of advice. And then if you guys have more questions too, I'm probably not gonna be able to cover, you know, this whole fitness, eating clean, all that is such a broad industry or niche that there's so many, you know, questions or things that maybe you guys have some questions on. So feel free to comment them down below. I typically try to go through all the comments, so if you comment down below and you have a question, I'll try my best to answer it. If not, I'll be able to direct you to somebody that might know, you know, and if you have some sort of like, you know, allergies, or you're intolerant to some foods. So definitely do that, comment down below. And right now I'm gonna head home, start meal prepping, and I'll see you guys once we get over there. All right guys, so I gotta show you guys my home gym. This is in our garage. We have a preacher curl, we have a squat rack right here, we have a whiteboard for our tracking, we got some mirrors, incline bench press, we got a weight tree over there, my canvas over there, building my empire, always a daily reminder. Got some free weights. We got a little case thing right here where I store some stuff. I have my supplements on the top. We got a TV, sound bar. I have a treadmill right here and have fridges. Only this one right here is connected so far. Sorry about the cochinero right here, guys. This is like our spot where we put we did build this wall so we can put some stuff. I still gotta cover it, but I didn't have all this stuff here yesterday. But since I took my stuff out of the office, I brought it in here. So that's why I have that. I gotta take time and fix it. Yesterday I didn't fix it because it was already late at night. But here's our treadmill. We set up some lights up in the top. And we have a little Wi-Fi thing that my boy Eddie connected. So all this, Eddie and I built it together. We had somebody come in, paint the whole walls matte black. So my boy came through. He was at Sam's Club. He brought me 4 of these. These are big. These are the big boys. 2-pack for $10 each. Look at him. Look at him. Get you a man like this that works out, works hard, meal press, has abs.
All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and cook these potatoes for Jose. We're gonna cook the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. The way I'm gonna cook these, since he is meal prepping, I'm trying not to use as much sodium, but we still want to give it a little flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and rinse these, and then I'm gonna toss it with some olive oil and a little bit of garlic salt just to give it a little taste, a little flavor. And then I'll probably do the same thing with these. And then the ground beef, I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do with that. Okay, you guys, so once you have them like this, I'm gonna go ahead and spread them around. So we have a little sheet like this with aluminum foil. We're gonna put these in the oven to get them nice and crispy. And again, you guys, like I was saying, we try not to put too much seasoning just because he is prepping. So we want to make sure there's not a lot of salt, because salt tends to retain water and it makes him bloated. So we're trying to avoid that. Now I'm going to show you guys with the Brussels sprouts, which I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to put the Brussels sprouts right over here. Okay, so here we have the Brussels sprouts. I am going to go ahead and Mila wants to help, so she's going to just drizzle some olive oil. Okay, that should be enough, Mila. Okay. So, and put it in our little conventional oven because our actual oven does not work at the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and put them here. I already preheated the oven, and we're gonna go ahead and place them there. While that is cooking, I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do with the ground turkey. All right, you guys, so the way that I'm gonna be cooking the ground turkey is I'm gonna grab 2 of these. I'm gonna go ahead and use basically this much of an onion just to give it a lot of flavor. Jose loves the flavor that it gives, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that just because you already know onion gives a lot of flavor. Is drizzle some olive oil right here, being sauteed. That's what you want. And we're gonna drop the ground turkey once the onions turn a little soft. Ground turkey, and dump it in there. Obviously you don't want that. So once you have both, start breaking it apart. Now when Jose cooks it, he cooks it a whole different way. He literally just puts a little bit of olive oil and just the ground turkey. That's it. Like no flavor, no seasoning, nothing, you guys. Like he just cooks it straight with olive oil. And if to me it's super bland, which I don't like. So when I cook it for him, he likes it like this because it gives it a lot more flavor. Obviously, even just adding onions gives it so much flavor already. So obviously if you are trying to get like super shredded and you're gonna compete in a show. Obviously you don't want to add any seasonings like this, I guess, because that's what I've learned. When Jose was competing, I didn't add any seasoning to any of his food at all because it was like a super strict meal. But with this one, I mean, it's still pretty healthy, but it still, you know, just adds a little bit more flavor, you guys. All right guys, so the meals are finally prepped. So we have the Brussels sprouts, the potatoes ready, and this is the ground turkey. And if you guys want to know how to know when the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts are ready, I suggest grabbing a potato and cutting it in half, and that's how you'll know it once it's fully cooked on the inside. Same goes with the Brussels sprouts.
Now I'm going to weigh it out to the proportions that I need for my personal meal plan. These Tupperwares, I actually got these at Target, but you can actually order a bunch of these on Amazon, which are pretty much to-go containers. I have my little scale here that I bought at, I want to say, Rite Aid. I think it was like 20 bucks. So this helps me make sure that I'm super accurate on my meals. So first thing that I'm going to put in here is going to be the ground turkey. So ground turkey came out bomb. So for my protein, I'm going to do 6 ounces. There we go, perfect, 6 ounces. For my carbs, I'm actually going to do 4 ounces. 4 ounces. So that way I have my protein scaled out, my carbs scaled out. And then for Brussels sprouts, it's just literally green, so I'll just throw in like 2 or 3 in there. I love the flavor of the Brussels sprouts, so I'm gonna try and put 3 on each one. And that's pretty much it for this particular meal. So I'm gonna eat this 4 times a day. And then in the morning, the only difference that I'm gonna have egg whites. I'm gonna have my bagel, 1 whole egg, and then some oatmeal and a protein shake. At nighttime, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm either gonna do a protein shake with 2 scoops, no carbs, or I'm either gonna eat that steak that I bought earlier with some Brussels sprouts, and that's pretty much gonna be the last meal of the day. So that's pretty much what my meal plan consists of, guys. I'm definitely gonna be keeping you guys updated in the training and everything. I weighed myself today at the gym. I am 152 pounds. My goal is to get to about 170, 175. If I can hit 180, I'll go after the 180, but I want to do it lean. I want to do it clean, so that when I do compete, I'll probably end up competing at around, I want to say like 145 to 150, which would be about 10 pounds or 15 pounds more than when I competed the first time. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I feel like my body has matured a lot more from when I competed the first time. So I definitely feel like I can hold on a lot more muscle and a lot more weight this time around, because my metabolism isn't as fast as it was before. So I'm definitely pumped. I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to keep you guys in the journey and in the loop. So thank you guys for tuning in on this video. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn your post notifications on. We are going to be doing our post notification shoutouts again. I promise you, we're going to be consistent on it this time around. So please make sure to turn them on. Comment done when you're done, and we'll see you guys on the next video.